Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if it's first time. In today's video, I'm reviewing the Simgot EW300 IEMs with a very exotic driver configuration. Let's get it. What's cracking, audio fans? David here from Prime Audio Reviews. This is the box of the Simgot EW300 and I can tell you the price is $65. Inside, you do get this little case. You also get 2 pairs of tuning filters. What doesn't nowadays? Let's get right into it. So, $65. We've got a tribrid triple driver IM here. We've got 1 dynamic driver, 1 planar, and 1 piezoelectric. So that's really interesting. It's quite unique, especially under $100. And I know I'm late to the party once again with this review, but it is what it is. That's what they look like. There's actually 3 versions of these just to make everybody even more confused. So this is the standard version. There's a USB Type-C or a DSP version, and then there is the black HBB version as well. I'm pretty sure they've all got the same tuning. I'm not sure what the DSP digital sound processing, how that affects the tonality. I didn't look into that. I've got these. I'm reviewing these. So we've got these lovely, I don't know if it's stainless steel or aluminium alloy shells, but metal shells. They look pretty cool, I reckon. They're actually really nice. They feel great in the hand. Of course, they are fingerprint magnets, but fortunately, they don't seem to get scratched up very easily, which is a great thing. And they're very comfortable. And here is the cable. It is silver-plated copper. It's pretty nice, somewhat thin, but it handles really well. Doesn't really get tangled too much. It reminds me, I might be way off here, but it reminds me of the Hi-Diz MS2 from like 3 years ago, that cable. I might be wrong. I'm just going off purely off memory, but yeah, that's what comes to mind right now. Anyway, enough with all that. Let's talk about how it sounds. So just to be clear, I'm talking about the default installed silver filter. The gold filter is a little bit warmer than this one, but the silver was my preferred filter, so that's what we're going with here today. So it's not hard to drive. You can drive it straight out of a smartphone or a little dongle DAC, and you know, it's Simgot, so you can't expect something too crazy in terms of sound signature. It pretty much follows the Simgot target with a little bit of variation, like 2 to 3 decibels in certain areas, which is kind of what we come to expect. It follows their Simgot 2019 golden target, but this one has a bit more warmth and body, and that gives it a more musical but a less crisp presentation, and it kind of prioritizes tonality over absolute fidelity. Here is the graph. Oh, looks familiar. Yeah, it's very Simgot-y. That's a new adjective, by the way. So the bass on the EW300 has a sub-bass focus. It produces a nice, deep, and visceral or physical rumble. You can really feel it. It's pretty fun. The mid-bass isn't quite as forward as the sub-bass, but there is ample punch. There's plenty of definition on the leading edge, albeit slightly blunted to make it sort of natural sounding. The bass is definitely boosted north of neutral, especially in the sub-bass, but I wouldn't call this a bass head IEM. Having said that, if you are a bass head, you might just be satisfied enough with the level of lows that you get here, because it's pretty good. So it's a good controlled bass. It's got a nice natural attack and decay, and just a little bit of minor bleeding into the lower mid-range. Now, speaking of the mid-range, this one brings more color to the mids compared to many other of the previous Simgot models. It has a sort of a richer and lusher presentation with added note weight. However, it still remains nicely balanced. It doesn't overindulge or get congested in the mids. The upper mid-range is only slightly lifted, which gives it, vocals a nice vibrancy and some presence, but without becoming shouty or boxy. Then we've got a nice, clean and crisp treble. There's no sharpness or sibilance, at least to my ears, but it does have pretty good detail retrieval and a good amount of airiness and openness up there. Treble notes have good density and evenness, so it doesn't sound disjointed in the highs despite being somewhat vibrant. If you are averse to high frequencies or treble, if you're treble sensitive, the gold nozzle will probably suit you just fine. It's even warmer than the silver one, but already the silver nozzle here has a fairly warm tonality. And now we'll do a couple of quick comparisons, starting off with the Simgot EA500LM. And I chose this one because it's only slightly more expensive. It's like $79 or $89 depending on the sales and where you look, compared to $69 for the EW300. It's only got single dynamic driver, but it's got a very similar tonality. Of course, once again, we're talking about slight deviations of that Simgot golden target response. So the EA500LM it's a slightly brighter tonality, and that is because it's got just a little bit less sub-bass extension, and it has a bit more presence and lower treble. And what that does, it just kind of gives it a slightly leaner tonality. It has better detail retrieval than the EW300. Like the EA500LM, despite being warmer than the original EA500, some people might still find it a little bit edgy or a little bit bright. The EW300 is going for a more musical, more relaxed or laid back presentation. Having said that, still the EW300 is still nice and dynamic and very fun to listen to. It's just not as detailed. Then, of course, I couldn't go without bringing out the Kafine Delchi here, which is available for $59 most of the time. And the Delchi has actually a little bit more sub-bass extension, and that obviously makes the bass more authoritative and even rumblier. It's got a little bit more lift in the presence region as well, similar to the EA500LM, which kind of offsets its weightier bass, and as a result, the mids on the Delchi are slightly pulled back. They're a little more recessed, and the overall tonality is more V-shaped. But both IEMs have similar soundstage dimensions, but the Delchi still manages to pull out more micro details. Now, I know I'm just throwing out a lot of word salad there, and after hearing that, you might not be any clearer on which one of these is the best. And to be honest, they're all great. Which one sounds best is going to depend on your personal preferences. Like, this is the double-edged sword of this graph era that we're living in. Everything is going to be fairly close to a certain target, whichever is the flavor of the month target, whether it be based on the Harman or the new meta that's going around. Personally, I would have a hard time choosing a winner out of these. They are all fantastic. Both of the Simgots come with a couple of tuning filters. I kind of like the fact that the Delchi doesn't come with tuning filters. Kafine have just said, here's an IM, we think it sounds good, check it out. But, that's just me. I'm sure a lot of people are super happy to have some, certain different sound profiles available with their IM, especially these ones for less than $100. It's crazy the amount of choice and the quality that is available out there. But to wrap things up, that is the Simgot EW300 Standard Edition, and it is very, very good. So if you are looking for something, sub $100, definitely this should be at the top of your list of possible contenders, especially if you're looking for something that's slightly warmer and a little more laid back than some of the other previous flavors of the month, like the Delchi and the EA500 LM. It's got a nice, warm, relaxing sound signature, but it's still very dynamic, very fun. So thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, Par Family Audiophile style. If you're new here, consider hitting that subscribe button before you go. If you would like to support the channel, check out my Patreon link in the description down below. And until next time, see you later.